Hacksters! Today on the show we have Evan Rust, who is also known as Arduino Having 11 guy on Hackster. He's an 18-year-old maker who has been posting on the site since 2016. Evan, you describe yourself as an enthusiastic maker, currently a junior at the University of Wisconsin, pursuing a bachelor's degree in comp sci. Awesome. And your project is the Azure Sphere Weather Station. Welcome, Evan.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about your project? What's the deal?
Yeah, so this project uses Microsoft's Azure Sphere board, and it has two click boards. So one is the environmental click, which is powered by the BME 680 sensor from Bosch. And then the other one is the water detector click board, and that's just a simple op amp. And it basically reads in data and sends it to the cloud.
Awesome. Have you worked with those before, like especially the click boards, but it seems like you have a little experience with Azure?
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much. And I haven't used any clickboards, previously. So
Oh,
this is
cool.
almost entirely new experience to me.
What was it like working with these tools?
So at first, pretty steep learning curve, just because it is more enterprise grade. And before that, I've only been working with mainly, maker hardware. So your Arduinos and Raspberry Pis. So this was a bit of a jump. I had to learn a bit more advanced C usage.
Mm.
But once I actually got going, it was pretty easy. And just go through the data sheet, read about it.
Fantastic. What about, how is the documentation in helping with this?
So Element 14, they had, a few really good examples for how to set it up and get it sending data. On a bit more of the IoT side, it took a bit more work to figure that out, especially with the Azure IoT Hub.
Mm. You go into a lot of detail in describing how you use these, especially the BME 680 sensor. And I think that's going to really help people who are coming after you trying to work with these.
Yeah, because, data sheets, they can be daunting, especially looking at all the registers and communication protocols. So it really helps to know, what exactly, this address does or what putting this value in a certain location does.
And then it looks like the water sensor was rather easier because it was just sending like a 1 or 0, like, is there water?
Yeah, it's just a digital input pin. Is there water or not? So it was a lot easier.
So if you were going to build this again, what kind of things would you do differently?
So, when I first made the project, I went through the data sheet and did pretty much everything from scratch. So no drivers, just using the hardware abstraction layer, or HAL.
Hmm.
So next time around, Bosch already has a driver in C. So I'd probably use that and just port it over for the Azure Sphere board. That also helped to make the code more readable, maintainable. And then I could also have switched out one of the clickboards for a different environmental sensor. So one could be the UV sensing one to tell like how much sunlight there is, kind of predict how your plants are going to do that day.
Mm.
A waterproof enclosure so it can be outside, and then also solar panels so it can exist outside for a lot longer.
Love the solar panels. That's awesome. I would definitely use the UV sensor because I have to put on like massive amounts of sunscreen. I would be able to know like, do I need to use the like SPF 50 or can I get away with like 30?
Yeah.
Good stuff. What's the future of this project? You mentioned at the bottom here, you have this what's possible section and it says in the future you're planning to create a project that displays this data in real time via a local dashboard. Have you thought any more about that or do you have other plans?
Yeah, so I guess two main things. So one could be integrating it with other devices and then building a whole smart gardening system. So automatic watering, monitoring plants and have all the data be aggregated to one place.
Mm.
And also, have a little dashboard like in your house, maybe a smart mirror, and then have that data up. So whenever you're ready to leave, you know exactly what's going on outside.
In your project, you also mentioned like you could detect if there's too many volatile organic compounds in the air, indicate a possible respiratory hazard. I'm all for that too.
Yeah, so pollution tracking.
So you have a ton of cool projects on Hackster. How did you get your username? I gotta ask.
Yeah, so I guess I was 14 at the time, so
Uh-huh.
Arduino guy just
Legit. Did you have 11 Arduinos at the time?
No, so the having 11, I made that when I was in second grade for like an online username for something. Just,
Ah. Finally, what are you planning to do with your prizes? You won an Adafruit gift card, you won a Patcher Pro subscription, and a $250 Visa card. What are you gonna do with those?
yeah, so with the Adafruit gift card, I'll probably purchase more hardware, knowledge, of course.
Naturally.
Make new projects with it, new blog posts. With Patcher, I normally use Eagle, which, from my understanding, has a lot more capabilities. But I am interested in doing maybe a little showcase of how Patcher works and how you can use it, demonstrating, making a board out of it or with it. And then for the Visa gift card, I'd probably save it, sell it, use it for college tuition.
Yeah, fantastic. I've been using Patcher a little bit, and it's definitely like a sort of Polaroids. It's kind of like a Tinker Toys, like simpler version, but also really quick to just knock out an idea. How much experience do you have with Eagle?
So I've been using it for about the past 3 years. So designing schematics and
What kind of stuff do you build with it?
so anything really. So control panels, control boards, uh, motor drivers, even entire game systems on it. So I did one
Cool.
recently using NeoPixels as a Pong system.
That's cool. Games are rad. I have one final question for you, and I know that I'm kind of springing this on you, so it might be a bit of a challenge. But I have to ask, how do you pronounce the word spelled GIF?
GIF.
There we have it. Okay, thank you so much, Evan. Thank you for joining us on the show. Congrats again on your prize. Can't wait to see what you build next.
And thank you for this interview.
All right, cheers. Hack on.
Bye.